Hey there, Julia here. This is what we're doing today. I am setting up my currently inked page and showing you what I have inked up for the month of October. I've done another clean slate and I've inked up all new pens for the month. And we're going to get right into it and just see if you can tell what the theme is for the month. Is very easy to figure out. But before that, I'm just going to say that I have migrated over just one pen. I don't have it with me here, but it is the Opus 88 with the Pilot Parallel nib, and I have that inked up in Colorverse Brain, which I've had inked up for a few months at this point, and it just takes a little longer to get through the ink, especially with that Pilot Parallel nib that I'm not using on a daily basis. So I still have that inked up. I typically have my X Musk fountain pen inked up in Platinum Carbon Black, but I went ahead and changed that out and now have my Platinum Carbon Black inked up in my Pilot Kakuno. And I just always love having something inked up with a waterproof black ink so I can paint over it, and it's pretty much the only black that I have inked up. And I love the Pilot Kakuno. Oh my gosh. Every time I ink it up, I'm like, you're so good, and it's so affordable, and I think the perfect beginner fountain pen. So I do have that inked up. I'm not going to include it here because that's just, like the foundational pens that I have going on. And then I don't have this one inked up yet because I want to get the nib worked on this month at the Colorado Pen Show, but this is my wedding pen. I have a whole video on the process of making this pen, but these pieces here are from my wedding bouquet. And so I do want to ink this up, and I think I'm gonna go with, I had it figured out at some point what I wanted to ink it up with, but follow me on Instagram. I will post there, and maybe even in the YouTube community tab, what I end up inking this up with. Happily will take suggestions down in the comments. But let's go ahead and get into the first pen and ink pair. So the first one I have inked up this month is the TWSBI Diamond 580, and this is in the smoke colorway, and you can definitely tell that I have some shimmer happening in here. I have this inked up with Dominant Industry Autumn Forest. This ink has been on my wish list for quite a while, and so I was very happy to pick it up in New York at Yoseka. And so this ink is a gorgeous olive color with a pink shimmer to it. And this pen holds a lot of ink. So this one may be carried on for a couple of months, we'll see. But this is the TWSBI Diamond 580 in smoke and rose gold with an extra fine nib. And even with the extra fine nib, you still get some of the shimmer. I trust shimmer in TWSBI pens just because I can see where the shimmer is. I can agitate it if I need to distribute the particles a little bit more. And they come out great from the nib. It stays smooth. No complaints. I have not inked this pen up in so long, so I'm very excited to have it back in the rotation for this month. The next pen I have inked up is the Montegrappa Elmo One in the glossy piano black. Very classy. I love the shape of this pen. It's super comfortable. And I've had it inked up only one time before, but it was definitely one of my favorite pens in that rotation. So going with the theme, I had to ink it up again. And this time I have it inked up with Sailor Ink Studio 653. I have a little sample of that. I did do a good job, I think, this month in diversifying my inks here. I think I have, let's see, 4 bottles and 2 samples. So it's a nice little mix. You can see a nice deep purple. And this pen does post. It is a little long, but I think for my larger hands, it works fine. It doesn't feel super back weighted or anything. This pen is pretty light. And we're looking at the Montegrappa. It's so smooth. Elmo One with a fine nib. The ink is Sailor Ink Studio. The numbers always get me. Let's see, 653. I love like the subtle shading with this ink. Like it's just enough shading where I enjoy it. Too much shading and I feel like I'm writing with water. So I really like this color and I like the subtle properties here. Next up, you cannot have spooky season without inking up the Esterbrook Raven, all black everything. I love this. Everything's matte except for the clip here. I have the Raven nib done by Kirk Spear. So you have a little raven engraved on there. And I have this inked up with Diamond Fireside Snug. So this is a standard ink from the 2023 Inkvent calendar. As you can see, it's a nice rusty orange. So I thought it was a good match with kind of traditional Halloween theme with the super black pen and a rusty orange ink. And this does have Kirk Spear's Cursive Smooth Italic nib on it as well. And again, we have Diamond Fireside Snug in here. Such a pretty fall color, and look at that match. Well, it's not even a match because I can put any color in here and it'll do, but it just complements so well. It gives the right vibes that I want. Okay, the next pen and ink pairing. Let's go with the Pilot Vanishing Point in matte black. Have you noticed the theme yet as far as the pens go? So this one is a fine nib, lovely matte black body. And I have this inked up with Diamine Sepia or Sepia. I think it's acceptable to say it both ways. I know I go back and forth. There's a few words where it is pronounced a couple of different ways, and so sometimes I just have a hard time committing. And this does have a fine nib on it as well. Definitely, I feel like I say it every time, definitely loving the palette, just seeing it swatched out like this so far. Absolutely the like spooky fall moody vibes that I was hoping for. Okay, next up, do not come for me for the love. So, what is this pin, right? So we've seen multiple Novelore Nautilus pins on this channel, especially with the currently inked. I had the lilac one, tried to get along with it, ended up selling it, and purchased the Antheus Violet colorway, and it just wasn't enough violet. I just wanted something a little dark with that pen, and I got it from Atlas, and it was the last one that they had in that nib size, and I tried to live with that for a little bit, but it just wasn't feeding my soul. And so I just went with the all black, and I am loving it. It's so funny because the first Nautilus that I saw and the Nautilus that made me want to get the pen was like the black with the bronze, like, you know, a very classic looking Nautilus. And so I don't know why I tried to make the colorful, like purple Nautilus work when all I wanted all along was this black one. And so, you know, you live, you learn, you buy, you sell. And I ended up with this one. Beautiful black on black here. And I have this inked up with a new ink that I got recently that I was very excited to get and had to be a little bit of a ninja to acquire because they sell out so quickly. But this is by Matthew over at the Wet Pen. This ink is called Blackberry. If you have not seen Matthew's videos, particularly the Japan ink travel series, it's so good. I binged it, all 5 parts, but I had to get his ink because he has such a good eye for color and just great ink property. This one is more of a standard ink, but I do love the color. And this entire pen is an ebonite material. I think I've mentioned before that I love the like weird smell that it has. And it's a piston filler. Really love the submarine ink window here. Ooh, we're gonna have to jump down a little bit because per usual, going a little large. And this also has a fine nib. Gorgeous. Love it. Okay, next up is this lovely Aiken model with the Carolina Pen Company. Got this at Stationery Fest along with a few others of Jonathan Brooks pens. This colorway I did find the name of. This one is Cliffside Sunset, which I think is beautiful and very fitting for the resin here. I love the body of this. It's like a pointed cigar shape. I'm sure that there is a technical name for this shape. I am just not aware of it. Let me know if you know what I'm supposed to be calling this. It's cool. It's fun. It reminds me of a wand, or, you know, it's giving October. So I have this inked up with the discontinued or soon to be discontinued Pilot Iroshizuku Kiresame. So I had a sample of this, but when I learned that it would be discontinued, I had to grab a bottle for like $15 before like the people got crazy and resellers got insane. And so So glad that I have this bottle because I really love this color. I've been loving gray inks lately, so very excited about this. And last month, I loved the Perspective grind by Gina Celerino so much that I decided to install that same nib in this pen. So this does have the Perspective grind on it. I did do a really fun video of all the custom nib grinds that I have recently, and I will leave that linked up for you if you're curious. But for now, this is the Carolina Pen Company Aiken model in Cliffside Sunset with a Perspective nib. I did not write the ink color here, so we'll go back. And the ink in here is Pilot Iroshizuku Kirisame. Okay, I like what I'm seeing here. Look at that sheen happening. I'm gonna let the rest of this dry. We'll come back, have a closer look, and see what you think. Okay, we're just about dry, and I did want to show, like, these will come later. This is not really a part of the lineup, but oh, look, kind of all black, dark pens inked up for this month. This is the only exception. It does have blacks and grays in there, but overall, very dark pen palette this month. Excited about that. It definitely opened me up to pick whatever inks I wanted in the palette, and I think I definitely went like a very witchy, spooky, Halloween, but fall direction, and I really do love how everything looks together. And once again this month, I picked these colors first and then transferred the theme over to my planner. So what I'm gonna do now, we're gonna inch it up a little closer and take a look at what we have inked up. So we have the TWSBI Diamond 580 inked up with the Dominant Industry Autumn Forest. We have Montegrappa Elmo inked up with this gorgeous Sailor Ink Studio 653. Next up, the Esterbrook Esti in the Raven with a cursive smooth italic nib, inked up with Diamond Fireside Snug. The Pilot Vanishing Point in matte black with a fine nib. This is going to be a great everyday writer. This is inked up with Diamond Sepia. The Black on Black Novelure Nautilus with a fine nib, inked up with this gorgeous ink by the wet pen called Blackberry. That's going to be a good standard ink. And then this Aiken model from Carolina Pen Company, inked up with Pilot Kirisame. That is a gorgeous match. This gray is so complex. I just hope that the camera is picking up those lovely tones in there. So yeah, these are the pens that I'm rolling with this month. I will not be surprised if I ink up a few more, especially after the Colorado Pen Show. But let me know what your favorite pen and ink pairing for this month is. Are you gonna go all black? for October, it might be a thing. I may make this a thing for myself at least. It was just really fun and I can't wait to see what I think of the lineup this month and pick a favorite. But definitely like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, especially if you love pens, inks, planning, and journaling. I do all of that here. Links to the rest of my socials are always down in the description as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you notice, I was doing a lot of swatching with this spoon, and I actually have a video about some other tools that I like to use for fountain pen cleaning and swatching, and I'll leave that video for you right here to check out next. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you all in the next one.